Greetings, humans. I am back at it again with the white vans, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about this, the Valk 3 that I got. Now, I'm going to be coming out with a full review of it tomorrow for my main channel, Colorful Pockets. You know, the one that's about Rubik's Cubes and stuff, unlike this one, which is about whatever I feel like it is about. See, I put a pause in there because I forgot what I was saying in the middle of the sentence because I got distracted by this cube, which is great, by the way. It's so great, in fact, that it made me forget that I didn't even plug the light over here in. You know, it's just a great cube, what can I say? So in case you don't know, this is the Valk M, which is the cubicles version of the Valk with magnets in it. First of all, gotta say, the Cubicle Labs logo is the coolest logo. Pretty much, in my opinion, coolest logo ever. Secondly, I'm really happy having a cube in my normal color scheme. I can actually recognize on this really well for speed solves. And thirdly, it's just a great cube. I can do algs very fluidly on it. Now, what's interesting that I found about this cube is that for one-handed, it's like maybe not as good. I'm not sure. I'm still trying it out for one-handed because certain algorithms, like a T-perm, I can do very quickly on it, and I think it actually helps them. But then for others, like this one TTLL that I used, and this is like the algorithm that I always use, I can execute it very consistently on other cubes. Like here's a normal the Valk without magnets in it. Execute that, get about 11 turns per second. On this thing though, it's just more locky. I don't know what it is exactly, but on this, so yeah, maybe it's not a great one-handed cube, although I still don't know about that because for most things it seems to be just fine. And for a U-perm, I actually came up with a cool new way to finger trick it. So for my way of one-handed finger tricking a U-perm on this thing, it's the one for this case right here. So normally you'd do something like this and do 2 flicks at the end there. But with this thing, I can actually do a double flick like that and have it lock into place because of the magnets. Now with this cube, I can just end that algorithm like this and do a double flick there at the end. And now this time it didn't quite lock into place, but that's because I was kind of standing at an awkward angle to show you that. When I'm just doing it normally, it'll lock into place and give me a perfect double turn basically every time. Now, that's a very slight improvement, but it is definitely an improvement that I feel like is only possible because of the magnets in this cube. Although I did just try it out on this thing and it's somewhat consistent. It's not quite as consistent though, so it's a slight improvement, but the Valk M does win slightly on that front. Overall though, I'm not sure if I'm going to switch to this as my one-handed main just because it requires a little bit more force to turn, and that makes it so that I'm not quite as accurate. I could get used to it though, so I'll have to try it out more. Overall, my thoughts on magnetic cubes is that they are the future of speed cubing. We've already had a world record set on one. I believe that was a magnetic GAN puzzle that Felix was using in the most recent world record. By the way, for those of you who are curious, I'll be going over this in my video tomorrow, but I set this thing up by basically just loosening all the sides a lot. When I got it, the orange side was already like really loose, so I haven't touched that at all. I in fact tightened it a little bit, and then I just tensioned all the other sides to match it, so now it's really quite loose, but the magnets hold it together, and the Valk is already a very stable cube, so it works out. Here's sort of an interesting demonstration of how the magnets don't affect the turning speed too much. So here's my normal cube, and keep in mind these are on very similar tensions. This one's actually a little bit looser, if anything. So just starting from a normal solved state, I can do a flick of these 2 layers and get it to go about 1.5 times around. Or not 1.5, 1.25 times around. Now with the M cube, which is slightly tighter, I can do also 1.25 times around. As far as I can tell, the magnets only make it harder to start a turn, not actually like they don't add friction during the turn. But yeah, since I'm going to be doing a more formal review of this thing tomorrow, I thought I'd just give you some organic thoughts on it now. I feel like you might even be able to get more out of this video as far as how I actually feel about it than you will out of the other video, but the other one will be a more concise, like, quick review sort of thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.